Hello guys, and today you're cooking with love, and today I'm cooking my delicious Sunday best collard greens. And these are some of the ingredients that I am using today, which is my raw vegetables, and I choose to use the turkey tail to use for the meat for the greens. And I'll explain to you why. First, we want to start off by washing the meat thoroughly. Sometimes, you find that you just kind of rinse things off. No, guys, we have to rinse this meat off. It's been smoked. It's been put to the side. It's been, just thoroughly wash your meat thoroughly because it's important that you be very clean with cleaning your meat. So from here, you want to repeat washing it. Then you're gonna start off by putting it in a pot. Find the size pot that you're gonna put these greens in, and you're gonna kind of cook these turkey tails for approximately about 30 minutes before we start adding the greens. So here I have my raw vegetables, and which I have is a onion. I have piece of how much you want, yellow pepper, and I have a red pepper. And I like the flavors that they give off when they're cooking, and it looks good in the pot as well when you're serving. Okay, so cut these vegetables, and then you can add these to the broth that's cooking along with the meat. Okay, you're gonna add some seasonings, and which I'll put some mustache. It's like some dried herbs. They have no sodium in that yet. I'm gonna add some crushed red pepper because I like a little heat in my greens. I kind of start off with there. You don't have to. It's not required, but I like it. So I'm going to add some Lorry seasoning, and I'm going to let that come to a boil. So I'm going to start off by popping off the collard green stems, which I like because I find that the stems has a bitter taste to them. So what I do is I kind of peel back the stems till I start to stack my greens. Then I will give them, I'll stack them to where I know that I can roll them and slice them thin. Now you can choose how many as you want to start this process. But I'm pretty much, I've been doing this for a while, so take your time. You slice those collard greens very thin, and you find yourself put them inside a bowl or something that you're gonna wash them in, and just start stacking them into that bowl so you can continue the process before washing. Okay. Now, I have a lot of greens, and they're kind of behind me. Okay, and about 5 bunches of green. So what I'm gonna do is just give you a clear just an idea of what how you can just prepare this. So I'm stacking and rolling another set of greens and slicing them thin. So this is a repeated job until all of them are done, and I start washing them and separating them to put in my pot. So it's very important that you wash your greens very thoroughly now. But the reason for me cutting these greens like this, because they really, for me, they very tender when they cook. They cook faster, and I just like the way when I gather them, when I fork them and eat them, I have big leaves in my plate. So to each his own. Everyone has their own way of doing things, but this is my way of prepping my greens, and I think you'll like it if you try. You gotta be careful with your knife now, okay? If you're not a knife person, if you're not a person that cooks a lot in the kitchen and using a butcher knife, as you see I'm using. You might want to be very careful and keep your knuckles back so that you don't cut yourself. But just be very careful as well. And the process of cleaning now, you want to wash these greens as many times. The sand and the pesticides are sitting on these greens. You wash them, and you rinse. You know, you keep washing them. You know, I wash them like I'm washing them in the washer. You know, just making sure that I get all that grit and sand and anything that's been on those greens. I just kind of let it sit there and just, you know, some people put vinegar, some people put salt in theirs. I kind of just clean them with a good hot water. So now you see that I have already start stacking my greens inside my pot because I have cleaned them. Okay, and what I did was I prepped my greens the day before, so my greens were cleaned and now coming out of the refrigerator. This is why you see that smoke coming off them like that, and you hear that crunch, because they have been cleaned and put to the side for today for this process. So I'm stacking my greens in my pot that I have my turkey tail and my raw vegetables. Okay, and it's lightly seasoned on the bottom. Okay, but that won't be all the season that I'm going to add. Because I'm gonna let this start to cook down and add to it as it starts to cook down, because this is, the longer you cook your greens, the better they are. Okay, so you see the color of these greens, they're gonna start turning darker. Once you see those greens start turning darker, that is on their way of being done. Okay, so I started to add some Lowry seasoning. Like I said, keep it lightly seasoned because you want to stay on the radar of not over seasoning your food that you can always add in later. Now you have to taste as you're going, like later on when it starts to boil down, taste that broth that it's giving off, because that is what's going to be going into your greens. So as you see here, I'm adding in some garlic powder, some black pepper. The reason for the amount I'm using is because I have a large pot, and it has to be your own taste. Okay, I can't tell you to put a teaspoon of black pepper, and it needs 2 tablespoons. Okay, you may not be a pepper person. Okay, and if you're not, you don't even have to use it, but just be mindful about your quantity of what you put in. Just stay safe and stay little. So I added just a little bit more crushed pepper because I knew that I didn't add enough to my broth when I started my meat to start to boil. Okay, I'm going to be adding cups of water, and as you see, I need to fill this pot, well, cover these greens. Okay, when I cover the greens with water, just the top of the greens, then I'm safe to let them boil for duration of time that's required for these greens to complete. Now you have to determine how long you want your greens to cook. So it could be an hour or an hour and a half. I kind of just judge your eye, okay? You know, keep your eye on it, and don't let them boil all the way down before giving it a taste test. You may have to add some more water, but I'm going to keep mine on medium heat, which will keep them on a boil, without boiling out the water faster than cooking the greens. Okay, so I am going to add as well some vinegar and I would say a teaspoon of sugar. I'm sorry, not a teaspoon. I'm sorry, a tablespoon of sugar. And the reason for this is to take out the bitterness of the greens, and you won't even know that you taste it, because salt and sugar, cinnamon, they come together. You don't even know that once you know, it's a balance. You know, the salt and the sugar, it plays a part. So don't be scared now. Just add just maybe a tablespoon of vinegar, and like I said, add your sugar to it. A tablespoon, okay? And due to the size of the pot that I'm using and the quantity of greens that's in that pot, that's why I added the amount that I added. So now you will make that determination of how much you want to use. You may not even use 5 bunches of greens, or you may just have 2 bunches, okay? You make that decision. You are the cook, okay? You are in control. So guys, these greens have been cooking approximately an hour and a half to 45 minutes. And now they're done. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Enjoy.